Lost Pilot is finally returned after many years, but it's back. And I will get to episode 10 soon, but not today, because I want to talk about Blazing the Monster Machines again. Why? New information has popped up that I didn't find out until recently, and I really want to talk about it. So let's begin, shall we? So Blazing the Monster Machines is a Nick Jr. show that aired from 2014 to 2025, which I didn't even find this out until a few minutes ago. But it's kind of insane how it lasted this long. Knowing Nickelodeon that cancels everything after one season, it is surprising that it lasted this long. Mostly it's probably due to it being such a success, I guess. And also, Blazing the Monster Machines was my favorite show when I was little. I used to binge watch this show a lot. A lot. Anyways, how about we get into the information of the pilot, shall we? I just said that twice in 1 minute. It's kind of crazy. So, a few years ago, the pilot was named Existence Unconfirmed, which meant that it wasn't proved or confirmed that the pilot even exists in the first place. But recently, in an interview with Jeff Borkin and Ellen Martin, celebrating the 10th anniversary of the show, which is insane, they did confirm the pilot actually being real, but it just never aired on TV, which, obviously. Now, all the information we had at the time, a few years ago, was first, it was made in 2012, 2 years before the show actually got released or aired on Nickelodeon. Now, here's where the other only thing we know of. First of all, the description is the exact same, obviously, with AJ and Blaze. But then we have someone called Maddie, who was Gabby in the final show, so, big difference, I know. Now, surprisingly, when I first did this episode, I think a year prior, I was actually the first one to find an image related to it. At least we think it is. This was you see this image on screen? When you searched up Blaze on the Monster Machines on Google and go to Google Images, this just randomly showed up there. And so did this one as well. And I was the first one to put it in Wiki Fandom. I'm 100% sure of that a few years ago, but I'd rather not take credit. And then some other people found these two. I don't know where. I know this other one came from Google as well, because I just talked about it, but I don't know where they got the logo from. I really don't know. Now, I don't know the plot of the pilot, because that is still unknown to this day. The plot and everything to the pilot is not released as public information. The only thing we have is obviously Maddie, or Gabby using, I can't speak. Gabby used to be named Maddie. But after that, there was this image that popped up as well, showing Gabby's earlier design. But also, a trailer that popped up randomly on Tumblr. Not that long ago, actually. I think it was a year ago. Which I think I can play the trailer for you right now. Let me just do that.
Buckle up for heart-pounding, out-of-this-world science and math madness! With Nickelodeon's Blaze on the Monster Machines!
Give me some speed!
These big boys of steel have all the moves!
Oh, yeah!
And not only rock a stadium full force,
Nice racing, partner!
but also educate on what a force really is!
A force is anything that makes other stuff move.
Got it.
The Monster Machines are taking the psi out of science and creating a monster combination of entertainment and education, featuring science,
We need a hypothesis. That's a guess of what we think will happen.
technology,
Those are pistons.
engineering,
He's gonna need 4 parts.
and you better believe it, we got math!
Which number is bigger than 7? 10, right!
Knowledge is power! With Blaze and the Monster Machines.
Now, first of all, the Monster Dome, it looks completely different from the final show. And you can also see the trucks you know of in the final show on there. They are really hard to see. I only remember Darrington. I can't tell if he's there or not, but you can see them, definitely, if you know the color of their trucks. But most notably, you can see Blaze and Crusher. I had to look up the names because I completely forgot them. Next are these pictures of inside the Monster Dome, and I will say it definitely does not look different, at least what we can see from this trailer. It's obviously just like the walls and cars in the background are lighting up and just dirt. How's that going to be different, honestly? But the final show does look like way better with the lights everywhere and stuff. Obviously, next notably, Crusher's design is different than the final. It looks like he's all cyan blue, including his where his mouth is, instead of it being white. He's not glowing neon like blue like he is in the final show, which he does look better in the final show, I will say that. I really do like Blaze's design in the pilot though, of it being a reddish orangish and a bit of yellow. It actually looks really good, and honestly, in my opinion. I mean, sure, the plain red in the final's good, but he looks like cooler, like actually looks like a Blaze, I guess you could say. Oh, shut up. That's not even a joke. Why am I doing a stupid laugh for? Obviously now we can see Gabby's different design. She doesn't look too different, but she definitely does look a bit different, and she's called Maddie in the pilot than Gabby in the final show. Not too much difference, I would say, though. The only thing different is the suit she's wearing and a headset. I really don't think there's much different about her. Then there's Pickle. Pickle looks like more like an actual pickle, if I'm being honest here. You could see how, way more greenish he is. He has a more, I would say darker green, but also bright green as well. I don't know how to describe it. He just looks like a pickle, way more like a pickle, not just very light green like he is in the final show. I also really do like his design here in the pilot as well. You can also see some trees in the background, which I don't think I need to compare those, but if you want, here you go, I guess. I will say though, the background art style is definitely a bit different than the final, but obviously it's the pilot. It's really cool to see though. Finally, we have Axel City, the place they're literally at. The city looks way different in the pilot than it does. Well, at least of what we can see, the buildings aren't colorful like in the final. They're actually all pretty dark toned colors, I guess. More gray toned. All the buildings you can see here are a gray and orange, or a red and gray. Yeah, the city does not look too pleasing in the pilot, but it's the pilot as well. Then there's a guy with the cowboy hat, which I, for some reason, thought it was Bumperman, the announcer of all the stuff in the show, but it's not. Definitely not. At least I don't think so. And besides the weird gray thingy in front of them, I guess, that's really it. That's really all we have now. I am honestly really looking at this, and I really want to see this full pilot being found. I just don't know how big it is. I mean, this trailer got over 100,000 views, so it's gotta be at least somewhat popular, right? I would say so, and I'm really hoping to see this found, because this is a childhood show I'm talking about here. I mean, now I did try contacting the voice actor of Darrington on Twitter, if that was him. I'm pretty sure that was the official one, though I never got a response, and I kind of deleted that account after, so I don't really have anything about that anymore. But besides that, I'm hoping this gets found eventually, because I really want to see it. And that's all the information we have. Sure, it's not as much of a difference as what we had before, because we still don't know the plot of the episode. I would think the plot of the episode would be the first episode of the show, where some, I don't know, hey, that had nothing to do with it. I watched 2 seconds of the actual show, first episode of the show, just a second ago. But you would think the first episode of the show is a remake of the pilot's plot, but I'm not quite sure on that. But that's really it. That's all we have, and I really hope it's found. Thanks for watching. Episode 10 of Lost Pilots will come out hopefully soon, and I'll see you next time.